Welcome back to FarmGear Innovators, the place where horsepower meets harvest. And smart machines are changing the game for everyday farmers across America. Today, we're diving headfirst into the ultimate showcase of raw muscle, precision tech, and next-level farming intelligence. From grape harvesters that handle fruit gentler than your grandma's hands, to soil savers that pull double duty without tearing up your land. These machines aren't just tools, they're legends in motion. You've seen tractors, but have you seen a 925 horsepower silage monster chew through a barley field like it's breakfast? Or a 19,500-liter manure cannon that surgically feeds your soil with zero waste? This isn't farming the way your grandpa did it. This is farming reimagined. Whether you're running a 500-acre operation or just love seeing brilliant machines at work, you're in the right place. So hit that like button, grab your coffee, and settle in, because what you're about to see will change the way you think about farming forever. This is FarmGear Innovators, where the machines are smarter, the stakes are higher, and the future of agriculture is rolling in right now. Let's get to it. One, the rise of intelligent harvesters. How AI is changing the way we farm. Ladies and gentlemen, let's kick things off with a revolution that's rewriting the rules of modern agriculture, and it starts with two letters A. I. Now, I'm not talking about some sci-fi robot roaming your cornfield. I'm talking about real, working technology that's already in the field right now, making decisions in real time, saving money, reducing waste, and producing cleaner, higher quality crops. At the center of this shift, AI-powered harvesters that see, think, and act faster than any crew of humans ever could. Take the Pelling Visio Optimum, for example. This isn't just a trimmer, it's a plant whisperer. Using Visionic image recognition, it literally scans every vine or shrub, understands its structure, and adjusts its cutting mechanism on the fly. That means no more over-trimming, no missed branches, and no wasted motion. Just clean, uniform cuts every time. Whether you're maintaining vineyards in California or high-density orchards in Washington, this level of precision means healthier plants, better yields, and fewer mistakes. But here's the lesson: smart equipment doesn't replace farmers, it enhances them. The farmer becomes the strategist, the supervisor of intelligent tools, not just the operator sweating behind the wheel. And that mindset shift, it's where the real transformation begins. Of course, not every piece of AI equipment is created equal. You've got systems that need constant recalibration and others that run smoother than your morning coffee. The key: matching the right tech with the right crop and the right terrain. Overlooking that fit is a common mistake, and it's costly. So whether you're investing in AI trimmers or self-driving combines, understand the tech before you sign the check. Now, speaking of high-tech muscle, wait until you see what 175 horses and a gentle touch can do in the vineyards. We're heading straight into the next evolution of grape harvesting. And trust me, you've never seen anything like it. Let's roll. Two, 175 horses and a gentle touch inside the New Holland grape harvesters. All right, folks, buckle up, because we're about to take a closer look at one of the most impressive balancing acts in modern agriculture: raw power meeting delicate precision. Welcome to the world of New Holland grape harvesters, where 175 horsepower doesn't just mean speed, it means surgical finesse. Let me paint the picture. You're standing in the middle of a sun-soaked vineyard during peak harvest season. The fruit is ripe, fragile, and ready. But here's the kicker: damage even one grape, and you compromise the entire batch of wine. That's where the New Holland Broad 2720 and 9070L Plus step in. These aren't just machines, they're vineyard surgeons on wheels. What makes them stand out is the SDC shaking system, a proprietary tech that gently shakes the vine to dislodge only the ripe grapes, leaving the rest untouched. Then, A soft conveyor system moves the fruit without crushing it, while the OptiGrape cleaning system removes leaves, stems, and debris before the grapes ever hit the tank. Let's break that down in real terms. That means less waste, cleaner fruit, and higher quality wine before the grapes even leave the field. One winemaker out of Napa Valley told us, the machine pays for itself in 2 seasons, not just in labor savings, but in flavor. That's not marketing hype, that's a practical return on investment. But here's a small lesson most folks miss. These harvesters aren't just about picking faster, they're about protecting long-term vineyard health. By avoiding damage to vines and limiting soil compaction with precision tires and weight distribution, these machines help ensure next year's crop is just as good or better. Still, a word of caution: power without control is useless. If you're not matching the machine settings to the grape variety, terrain, and moisture levels, you could be leaving performance on the table. Dial it in right, and you'll see a night and day difference in a yield quality. Now, speaking of dialed-in efficiency, wait until you meet the machine that's replacing 20 workers per hour in Europe's cabbage fields. This next rig isn't just smart, it's redefining labor on the farm. Let's head there next. Three, Cabbage Kings of Europe, the machine that replaces 20 workers. Let's head across the Atlantic now to the cabbage fields of Europe, where old-school harvesting has officially met its match. If you've ever worked a cabbage harvest, you know it's no walk in the park. Heavy heads, low rows, back-breaking labor. It's a job that used to take dozens of hands and hours, but not anymore. Meet the LWB Cabbage Harvester, a machine so efficient, it's been dubbed the Cabbage King by farmers from the Netherlands to Germany, and for good reason. This beast replaces up to 20 manual workers in a single hour. Let that sink in. So how does it do it? It starts with a 180-degree swiveling intake belt, one of the smartest features in harvesting tech today. Unlike traditional machines that have to reposition constantly, this intake allows the LWB to load from multiple angles without moving an inch. That means faster turnaround, cleaner cuts, and fewer missed heads. Add in its precision cutting blades and continuous conveyor system, and you've got yourself a lean, mean cabbage pulling machine. Now here's the kicker: this harvester can process up to 1 hectare per hour while preserving 99% of cabbage heads intact. That's not just good, it's elite. One grower in northern France told us, "What used to take a full day of hired hands now takes me 2 hours and a fuel top-up." But don't make the mistake of thinking every field is plug and play. Cabbage can be tricky depending on soil moisture, head density, and row spacing. The small lesson here: optimizing row layout to match your machine's intake width can boost efficiency by 15 or 20%. Get that wrong, and you'll end up with more waste than wins. Bottom line, if you're still harvesting cabbage the old-fashioned way, you're not just behind the curve, you're bleeding time and money. And speaking of slicing through challenges, wait till you see what's happening in the world of pumpkin farming. Up next, we've got a spiked pickup, a 6-blade shredder, and a rotor system that separates the seeds like clockwork. You'll never look at a jack-o'-lantern the same way again. Let's go. Four, soil-saving powerhouses, the battle between Grimm and DeWolf. Now let's talk potatoes, and not just any harvest. We're heading straight into one of the most intense rivalries in modern mechanized farming: Grimm versus DeWolf. Two titans, two machines, one shared goal: maximum efficiency with minimum soil damage. First up, the Grimm Veritron 270. This is a self-propelled 2-row harvester with 435 horsepower under the hood and a 7-ton bunker. But here's the real magic: it's got onboard cleaning and sorting systems, which means you're processing your crop right in the field. Fewer trips, less handling, and cleaner potatoes. That saves time, fuel, and labor. Now enter the challenger, the DeWolf Enduro. This 4-row harvester doesn't just keep pace, it raises the stakes. With 460 horsepower and a 10-ton bunker, it's built for serious acreage. But what really sets it apart is the soil saver system, designed to protect delicate topsoil even during wet conditions or on loamy fields. Farmers across Belgium and the Netherlands swear by it for one reason: preserving soil health without sacrificing yield. Let me give you a real-world example. One large-scale farmer in Idaho ran both machines side by side on similar plots, same conditions, same crop. The Grimm delivered faster clean-out and slightly better sorting, while the DeWolf left the soil in noticeably better condition post-harvest. Different strengths, different priorities, but both undeniably powerful. Here's the small lesson: the best machine isn't always the biggest. It's the one that fits your land, your crop rotation, and your long-term goals. If you've got light, loamy soil and tight field turns, Grimmy might be your ace. But if you're fighting compaction or running heavy acreage, DeWolf's your workhorse. And if you're serious about sustainability and keeping your soil fertile for the next generation, that soil saver feature isn't just a nice to have, it's a game changer. Now, if you think harvesting potatoes is impressive, wait till you see what happens when machines get smart about sweet corn. Speed, taste, and freshness all come together in our next segment, where precision timing turns into premium value. Let's check it out. Hive, corn, sweet and speedy. Why AgriSuit's corn machines matter more than you think. All right, folks, let's shift gears from potatoes to a crop that's iconic in American agriculture: sweet corn. Whether it's slathered in butter at a summer BBQ or packed into fresh produce crates across the country, sweet corn is only as good as the timing of its harvest. That's why speed and precision aren't optional. They're everything, and no one understands that better than AgriSuit. Now, AgriSuit isn't just building corn harvesters, they're engineering freshness on wheels. Their latest sugar corn units are custom-tuned to handle this delicate crop with a level of care you'd expect from a surgeon, not a combine. We're talking specialized cutting heads, adjustable rollers, and field-side sorting systems all built into one streamlined machine. Here's why it matters. Sweet corn has a 24-hour window post-harvest before the sugars start turning to starch. That's right, flavor fades fast. So when AgriSuit machines roll out, they're doing more than just cutting stalks. They're preserving taste, shelf life, and market value right there on the field. Let me give you a quick example. In central Illinois, one producer replaced his aging fleet with AgriSuit's high-speed harvesters. Not only did he cut harvest time by 40%, but his corn tested sweeter and stayed fresher longer, opening up new contracts with high-end grocers in Chicago and St. Louis. And here's the small lesson: if you're harvesting sweet corn like it's grain corn, you're leaving money and flavor on the table. Sweet corn requires precision. Machine speed must match crop maturity. Blade sharpness matters. Even the angle of entry into the row can affect final quality. So if you're aiming for taste that pops and a product that sells fast, don't just look for horsepower, look for handling. Now, speaking of handling, how about feeding an entire herd with perfectly windrowed, high-moisture forage? In our next segment, we're heading into hay territory where machine choreography and crop nutrition come together in perfect sync. Stay tuned. Six, pastures to protein. How modern hay baling boosts livestock. Feed quality. Let's talk hay, because when it comes to livestock, feed quality is everything. What your cattle eat directly affects their health, weight gain, milk production, and overall performance. And guess what? It all starts not in the barn, but on the field, with how that hay is cut, windrowed, baled, and wrapped. Modern hay baling isn't just about speed, it's about preserving nutrients, minimizing spoilage, and delivering a consistent product from the ground to the trough. And today's machine lineup does that with military precision. Take the combo of John Deere tractors, the GA 15131 rotary rake, and the Krone Comprima CF 155 XC Plus baler. That's a haymaking trio built for both volume and quality. The GA 15131's 4 rotors and 14.7-meter working width create loose, even windrows perfect for fast drying and clean pickup. Then the Krone steps in with its variable chamber and integrated wrapper, sealing in moisture at just the right level for silage or dry hay, depending on your goal. Here's the real-world impact in upstate New York. A dairy farmer running this system saw a 25% boost in average milk yield across his herd just by improving hay quality, better fermentation, less mold, more energy-dense feed. That's not a minor tweak. That's a game changer. Now here's a small lesson: timing and technique matter just as much as the machine. If you rake too soon, you trap moisture, bale too dry, and you risk leaf shatter, wrap too slow, and fermentation gets sloppy. It's a ballet, and the best results come from matching the machine settings with the crop condition hour by hour. The days of one-size-fits-all haymaking are over. Today, it's about precision, efficiency, and nutritional payoff. And speaking of payoff, what if I told you that an old tractor from the 1960s is still pulling its weight on American fields today? Next up, we're heading into a story of legacy, torque, and timeless engineering with the legendary John Deere 14020. You don't want to miss it. Tool tractors, new tricks. How the John Deere 14020 still dominates the field. All right, let's shift gears literally and roll back to a time when tractors were built like tanks and engineered to last generations. I'm talking about the legendary John Deere 4020, first released in the 1960s. This workhorse isn't just still around, it's still dominating fields across America, from Texas to the Dakotas. Now you might ask, why are farmers still hanging on to a 6-decade-old machine in the age of GPS, AI, and touchscreen cabs? Simple, reliability, torque, and mechanical simplicity. The 4020's 6-cylinder diesel engine delivers a solid 95 horsepower, paired with an 8-speed synchro range transmission. That setup may sound old school, but it's bulletproof, and many farmers will tell you. It runs stronger now than most new imports straight off the lot. Case in point, in rural Iowa, a third-generation farmer still uses his 4120 to plow, seed, and haul on a daily basis. He rebuilt it once, keeps it well-oiled, and says it starts faster on a cold morning than his new compact utility. That's what we call legacy horsepower. And here's the lesson: modern doesn't always mean better. The 4020 proves that when something is engineered right the first time, it earns its place not just in history, but in the lineup. Parts are still widely available, maintenance is straightforward, and it's compatible with a surprising number of modern attachments. Plus, let's be honest, nothing sounds quite like that open exhaust rumble. But here's the catch: old tractors demand know-how. There's no touchscreen to bail you out. You have to understand the machine, listen to it, feel it. That's where experience matters. And speaking of water, oil, and grit, we're about to tackle one of the biggest modern challenges in farming today: irrigation under pressure. Next up, we're diving into the high-stakes world of smart sprinklers, cornfields, and climate change. Let's go. Irrigation under fire, solving the corn water crisis with smart sprinklers. Let's face it, corn farming isn't what it used to be. Rising temperatures, unpredictable rainfall, and deeper drought cycles have put pressure on growers across the Corn Belt. And when it comes to corn, timing is everything. Miss a key watering window, and you don't just lose yield, you lose your season. That's why smart irrigation systems are stepping into the spotlight. And leading the charge is the rod-alone hose reel system with the Ghetto sprinkler head. It's a mouthful, Sure, but what it delivers is precision water management like you've never seen before. Here's how it works. A 450-meter hose gives you reach across huge fields, while a turbo-driven rotating sprinkler head distributes water evenly up to 60 meters in radius. The real star, though, is the hydraulic turbine that automatically adjusts the reel speed, letting you fine-tune application rates by square meter. That means less evaporation, deeper saturation, and serious water savings, especially critical when every drop counts. In Kansas, one corn grower saw a 15% increase in crop uniformity just by switching to this setup. His soil moisture stayed consistent through peak heat, and kernel development stayed on track. He put it bluntly, "This system saved my harvest." Now here's a small lesson every grower should hear. Overwatering is just as damaging as drought. It leads to shallow root systems and nutrient leaching. Smart sprinklers aren't just about applying water, they're about applying the right amount, in the right place, at the right time. That's the edge modern farmers need. And here's the best part, the system is built tough, corrosion-resistant, low maintenance, and compatible with most terrain types. It's not just efficient, it's durable. Now that we've tackled water, it's time to talk about what comes after a strong harvest-efficient transport and processing. And on that front, carrots are leading the way with a harvest system that pulls triple duty. Let's take a ride to the next field. 10. Beyond the field, the hidden economics of farm equipment investments. Let's bring it all home with something every farmer, big or small, needs to hear. It's not just about what your machine does in the field. It's about what it does to your bottom line. Welcome to the hidden side of farm machinery economics. Now, it's easy to think of a new combine, harvester, or sprayer as a tool, a means to get a job done faster. But when you step back, these machines are really financial assets, and the smartest growers treat them that way. Take this real example from western Nebraska. A mid-sized operation was debating whether to keep hiring seasonal labor or invest in a high-capacity, self-propelled potato harvester. After running the numbers, they realized that while the upfront cost was steep, the 3-year ROI was solid thanks to lower labor costs, higher yield quality, and faster turnaround. By year 4, the machine was turning a profit. But here's the kicker, the value didn't stop at field performance. That machine boosted scheduling flexibility, allowed tighter control over harvest timing, and helped secure more reliable supply contracts with processors. That's what we call a compound return. Here's a small lesson too many operators learn the hard way. Don't just ask what a machine costs, ask what it saves, protects, and enables over 5 seasons. A slightly more expensive model with lower maintenance and better uptime could be the difference between breaking even and building generational wealth. Also worth noting, used equipment with strong residual value can often be a smarter buy than brand new tech that depreciates fast. And if you're not already factoring in fuel efficiency, downtime risk, and future resale, your cost per acre numbers aren't telling the full story. So, the takeaway: great farmers think like great investors. They don't just harvest crops, they harvest data, strategy, and long-term value. And that, folks, wraps up our ride through the most powerful, precise, and profitable machines reshaping agriculture today. If you've enjoyed this tour, drop a comment below, share it with your crew, and let us know which machine impressed you most. Because here at FarmGear Innovators, we're not just showing machines, we're helping you farm smarter, stronger, and further into the future. See you in the next one.